Hello everyone, today a flashlight from Nitecore arrived for a video review, namely the EDC23 model. The whole thing is delivered in a box like this. On the front side there is an image of the device itself, and by the way, it is 2500 lumens, and on the box there is information about the characteristics of this flashlight, for example, a glow range of 280 meters, impact resistance up to 2 meters, moisture protection IP54, and a 1500 mAh battery. Let's move on to unpacking. We open the box and here we are immediately greeted by our flashlight, but for now we will put it aside. Then the instructions, a green lanyard, and a USB-A, USB-C charging cable. Now let's talk about the flashlight itself. Build quality and disassembly. The Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight has a metal body. In fact, it's stainless steel, and the steel is coated with titanium-colored PVD. It's a nice look. Also, it feels great to use. I didn't do any disassembly on the Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight at all. It does look to be held together with a number of Torx screws though. Unlike the bigger variants, this one has just 4 screws per side, not 6. Both sides of the Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight have this grip. I quite like it just for texture. I can't say that it adds a ton of grip, these pads are metal too. Size and comps: 4.05, XW130, XH089. Weight: 3.56 OZ. Retention and carry. Yeah, this pocket clip that ships attached is extraordinarily beefy. It's so peculiar in fact that I feel like it probably fits some role I just don't even know about. Like it's utility built and fits some specific whatever X wherever. Regardless of whether that's fact or imagination, it's a great clip and very secure. The clip has a number of holes too, including this loop, which seems ideal for attaching the included lanyard. That's it for included carry options. Power and runtime. Nitecore says the EDC23 Sabre flashlight runs a 1500 mAh 5.55 WR battery, but doesn't say much else. It's certainly a built-in LiPo and is not intended for exchange by the user. It's not field serviceable. I tested the top 3 modes, including turbo, which resets or steps down in relation to heat buildup. So turbo can last a second or less, or whatever, but let me tell you, it can get hot, very hot. Turbo steps down to whatever the previous mode was. So in many of the cases below, that was off, but it could also be any other mode, including high, as seen in a couple of those blips below. Because turbo is momentary only, not strictly momentary, but throttled by how much turbo the battery can withstand, I hesitate to really call this a 2500 lumen light. Yes, it peaks near that, but at 30 seconds we really have to regard what the output on high is. That's still plenty respectable at around 1100 lumens. The graph does indicate that there's a bit of active management of output to manage heat. The Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight has a proximity sensor too. Normally I'd fuss about it until checking the manual to see how to turn it off. In this case, I wasn't bothered by it. And then I checked the manual to see how to turn it off, and it's possible. I don't love the sensor, but I really never had any problem with it. I wasn't able to check the battery voltage after a test, but the OLED does display that information. According to the OLED, the Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight does have low voltage protection. Charging. The Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight has built-in charging by way of a USB-C charging port in the tail near the switches. A press-in cover protects this charging port. An appropriate cable is included, USB to USB-C. While charging, the OLED displays battery voltage. Charging is quick. The rate is around 1.5 A and in total takes only around 1.25 hours. That's great. USB-C and USB charge about the same. When charging is complete, the OLED displays 4.2 V. Pulse width modulation. Interestingly, turbo does use PWM. I can't really explain that. It's fast PWM, and turbo is so brief anyway that you're unlikely to notice it. In fact, I'd say it'd be impossible for you to notice it. User interface and operation. 2 switches control the EDC23 Sabre flashlight. There's a power switch. You can see it below on the top. The other bigger and flatter switch is a mode switch. Both are E-switches. LED and beam. The Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight uses 2 Nightlab UHI-25 emitters. They're cool white, but do provide nice high output. LED color report, CRI and CCT. CCT and CRI are as expected, probably, for such light. It's high output. That often, and also here, comes with higher CCT, cool white in this case, and a low CRI of around 67. Because of the brief duration of turbo and how my sensor works, I wasn't able to get a reading for turbo. Beam shots. These beam shots are always with the following settings: f8, ISO 100, 0.3 shutter, and manual 5000K exposure. These photos are taken at floor level and the beam hits the ceiling around 9 feet away. Summary and conclusion. The Nitecore EDC23 Sabre flashlight is pretty neat, just like the previous iteration and many of the other rectangular lights. I like the slim nature of the light. Output is staggering from this ultimately tiny light, but the step downs on turbo are unsurprisingly quick. The user interface is pretty good, and the OLED display is fairly well utilized too. It's a solid light. I am particularly pleased that this is a smaller version of the Slim Lite. It really hits a great spot for carry. What I like, robust build, it's stainless steel. Not just stainless, but also coated, which probably makes it more durable. Slips so smoothly into the pocket. Dual switch interface is pretty good. OLED display seems adequately taken advantage of. USB-C charging works great and is quick. Smart proximity sensor implementation, it's not bothersome. It's nice and short. What I don't like, battery is not replaceable. Positive dove output, green. Low CRI, does not hit output claims. Turbo steps down so quickly, and that's all from me. You can buy it using the link in the description. Thank you all for watching. Good luck to everyone. Bye everyone. Ciao.